So today I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to help you complete a 100-mile ultra. First things first though, anyone that's new to the channel, thank you so much for having a look. Please press the subscribe and like button. We've put this videos or this channel together to put out as much coaching and training tips as I possibly can from various distances from 50s ups. I have put some basic running stuff in there as well for people who are not ultra runners yet. So please check those videos out. Put nutrition stuff out there. And I've also got my own personal vlogs of my journey if anyone's interested on there too. Okay, so tip number 1, look at my other videos. I think you all knew that was coming. But no, seriously, there's lots of information already that I've put out on training for 100 miles. Even some of the 50-mile videos will help you get your training right if you're not quite there yet for 100-mile training. But yeah, check this video out especially. There's plenty of information on it. But yeah, I've plenty of time now if you want to go and watch that video now. The next hill down, it's going to take me a little while, so we'll wait for you. Okay, so tip number 2, get some early morning runs in. You're tired on a 100-miler. Most people DNF during the early hours in the morning, around that 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Not all the time because I haven't been practicing in that sort of time frame, but when your body's tired and it's not used to getting up in these early mornings, or even getting used to the nighttime running, you've got enough stress, enough things to be thinking about rather than your body trying to fight you and say you should be asleep now, what you're doing. So yeah, get out pretty early in the morning, a couple of runs maybe in the week. Just get used to running 4-5 o'clock in the morning before you go to work, just to get that body used to I'm running downhill now, so if I fall over, don't laugh at me. Yeah, to just get used to fighting your tiredness already, if you like, and it's a good mental way of training as well. Tip number 3 is stick to your race plan. So race plan, so hopefully you've put together a race plan ready for your race day. You know what sort of times you're going to get to checkpoints, you know what pace that you want to be trying to average, especially on the early stages. You know where the checkpoints are, you know how many gels you're going to be taking per hour. You know what equipment you're going to need to change into at the halfway point. If you don't, you need to start thinking about it, but stick to that plan wherever you decide it's going to be. Most people feel really good at the start line of any event, and what happens is you start to run really quick. Your pace seems to be maybe a minute and a half quicker than you would do normally on your practice runs, and you're thinking, oh god, this is going to be a really good day. Where did this come from? And it's all adrenaline. You haven't just got super fit overnight. Stick to that race plan, stick to your minutes per mile, and you won't have those bad moments as often when you get to a checkpoint and you're looking at it and go, yeah, this was bang on, exactly where I want to be. It's such a good motivator. Don't get me wrong, if you're half an hour to an hour ahead of your checkpoint time and you're thinking, god, I'm flying here, I'm doing really well, just bear in mind that when you hit that 70-mile point and you're starting to hurt and you're looking back going, god, this is the worst thing I've ever done, I want this to be over. Was it because you didn't stick to your race plan earlier on? Remember, your body's a little bit like a battery. If you burn it out and tire it out and it goes out, it's really hard to get it going again. So try and save as much energy as you can to the later stages. If you have energy at the end, by all means, sprint finish. But please stick to your race plan. Don't go off it, and you'll thank me for it. Next tip, so tip number 4 is all about equipment. Weeks before any event really, you should be completely comfortable with the kit that you've been training in and what you're going to be using for that 100-mile event. The amount of comments that I see on various social medias or messages I get a week before an event saying what shoes should I wear, you know, what waterproof jackets do you recommend, for example, they're absolutely fine asking those questions weeks before an event, but this all should have been practiced way beforehand. The last thing you want again on a 100-mile event is to pull out that jacket and it's got a big hole in the back of it, or a broken zip that happened on the last ultra you forgot about, or your shoes are rubbing, or you didn't have the right shoes for the terrain. All of that should have been practiced well in advance, so you've got to trust it, you know. Also, you know, I always have a trusty fleece. If I was hurt myself on an ultra, or I knew it was gonna be a particularly cold night, I knew I could pull that jacket out or that fleece and I would be warm even standing still. Even if I had to stay there overnight, I knew I'd be all right. So yeah, equipment, practice beforehand, trust it. If it's not good enough, get something better. And tip number 5, last one, is make your long run your quality runs. So quality of your long run, what do I mean by that? So most people will be looking at their weekly mileage, they'll be looking at how much time on their feet they've got, but what they're not doing is actually using that long run as a practice for the actual ultra itself. What I mean by that is they're not practicing the terrain, for one, they're not practicing their nutrition. Some people are going up for 3-hour runs, not taking on any gels or so on, getting to the 100-mile event and consuming anything they can see, not sure how much they should be eating, taking gels that their bodies are not used to, and then they wonder why they're getting stomach upsets. So on these long runs, that's what they're there for. Practice the nutrition, practice the kit that we've already talked about, practice the terrain so you're comfortable and your skill set's there. Yeah, rather than just going out for that long run and just expecting the event to be like any event. So yeah, make your long runs your most important run and make them good quality. So there we have it. Just to summarise then. So watch my videos. Early morning runs or nighttime running. Equipment, make sure you trust it. Stick to your race plan and good quality long runs. They're not just junk miles per week, to make sure you hit a weekly target. There for a reason, the most important run.